cry. So and YouTube no so Mothers TV Ghana. What like you comment or share? Eje amame. Every pay me better pray. I can eje amma. We not say we for sharing so say. KASE3 Ghana Limited. One more adarma. And you may want to pay. I'm a hunu jam. Asomo osom pasas so and a kelele clothing. Kelele. One so ewa one corner and a woman a pay. Kama and you may. Na and sama ebano edosu ebi NSA.
So after was say akwani accounting post wakasa wodeni echere mu otema motorway wodru on waso ama wo mo 2027 say wo munwe ekwan na omoye no.
Yebebe Remunsu dia ene day alright Sami Jemfi Government Accountability Series. What is them to do what wo mo emoka bia.
Na ene day na ese tema wuntumi enna lawyer foko piemu wasem dibia na omambenti ye quarter hye October bos ne dey to so edu enum ene ye besasa na asem ne so biem
ye bebo remu dia me no kase die enye o say Ghana Journalist Association wo benya mfi ne eduoson enson 77 years na wo me de ho afahye ahye akwanso amampanyufo dodo na akasa e wase.
When ni ensemble bre ni abetna se don hwere ba akọ kan ye ho manyu afidie no emfi ha ya na yemfa enso mwasda enkoma KASE3 Ghana saso na kelele clothing sajma komie ni na aso yasene akenkanfo enwumre eyemme akwi akode ye bo asare mene
nana aba ajiba afiji bre na yenhye ensem no ase
Mothers FM yes somosompa
Yen fiti kase na sinenfa yeni enchemo ya kwan ni akwantenpon so ene de swafo a wo hwe ya kwan ni akwantenpon so no nya for governance kwame eye abuja edeni etremu ewo tema motorway na okoye no empanyimfo a wo mo ye ekwan no wono omo ekasa ya wo kire se ekwa se ekwan na chepa eye ye de hye wo mo nsa no enti se die wo mo 2027 se we be wo mo nwe sap tema motorway netmenfo so ehu entimi ento wo mo wono onyafo nsemi anyina ekire se se dwumedi e hye won sa na se obeya asa wonye obeka se na sike bi na akamu a wakasa ya wo kire se ne beka se Ghana man pani ne book ne big push agenda no ogusu a wo push eko na bandada na pen so kra contract ahudo bebre fa ya kwan ho a wode man krofo no Ghana man pani e bae no e obon homoden a to aso enu nti de waka tro mo se 2027 wo mo sha se ekwan no wo betimi awie se ne be yatimi so e betimi enya esomfa so.
Government is committed, as I said earlier. Government has paid over 23 billion so far on roads, and the bulk of that is arrears. Because if you notice, your project, the one at Ofanko, we inherited. But when we inherited it, there was an outstanding debt of 78 million, which we paid. That is classified either as big push or arrears. So the 23 billion is a lot of money to be paid to road contract. It's the largest payment on capital expenditure from government. And the Ghanaian public is demanding to see what we are spending the money on. We believe by the end of 2027, it will be obvious to everybody what we spent the money on. And we are counting on you to be able to make the public proud of what we are doing as Ghanaians.
Eni ekokotie yeswafo so yakwan eni akwantenpon so na no si ya pe na dwumekuwa yetema motorway ehye wo monsa panya woda no Alhaji Maripoma wono so de ensem etudwa etre swafo wo so yakwan ni akwantenpon so empo ebreportia wo monsa eka contract no eni beebi o maye akwakoduru wo hye bo se da wode ama wo eni afe no wo bebo mo modin se ne be ya omunyum mo ye no so ebetimi aso eni
kilometer road. It is in 3 sections from where we were the last time. Because
okay, so at least we know that we have the road in 3 sections. The first, the 19.5 kilometer Tema to Tetekwashi, where we are presently, and then the continuation that is 5.7 kilometers to the Apenkwa interchange, and then we have a 2.5 kilometer section from Tesano to New Plan. The designs have been done. The first 19.5 kilometer is the first section, that's the phase 1, which we are currently working on. So let's move here. The last time we were here, we have just started with the substructural works for the Tetekwashi interchange. As we speak now, we have completed the substructure and the superstructure. And maybe right after we can have a look at it. So let's move on. So this is what we planned. We have these two, which are going to be additional to what we already have. And as I mentioned, the bridges have been done. These were 2 by 40 meter, T-beams and pre-stress. They have all been completed. Now we also have the tertiary link, which is a little bit away from here. We'll have a look at that. We finished with the concrete works. We are now working on the retaining walls. And once the retaining walls are finished, we will fill over them, and then we'll open that portion of the road to traffic. We have the community 80 junction. Similarly, we've done that.
Yes, I'm Mothers FM.
Kokotie Alaji Maripoma wono ena kontraja egya kwan temamoto we ehye omonsa wono so ano de same bi ena yekotie ye no.
Yanto samna so farmer odia and day government accountability series across so no na a gold board for any rebu nkonta e de kire o my Ghana na pani kwantra for wodi anim ora Sami Jemfi Esquire esan ekanidi ho wodi nsem atu dwa na wo kire mu se wo hwe o my Ghana e ba no gold ho nsensem gold ho ntoche ya na ebrebi domestic gold purchase program Ghana man pani abedi chidada ana wo abandada na Dr. Haji Mahmoud Bawumi adwumedi amode bae no de na ye Bank of Ghana na wodi sa eyesa adwuma ne pa yie eni ntine ye nani sa Bank of Ghana de esikasam ena wo munim yie papa nti e ba ne eyeska akọ ho adwumedi pa de a wo mon hye da eredare mu yie enti ekotu ska akọ no e de balance gold board for says ska akọ ne bo na wo suru e wo fam mo de e be come sa no na se ni na ne se wo mo amane e de kọ na chese wo makra e de kọ wo bi e ma so a ni na akọ wie mu se ne ekoso ni na no ni na ka obi ena ma se e kabo bi baia e ho pie mu e wo sa adwumedi no ase yentie nkyere mu a e ye wodi tudwa.
You ask how different is our trade model from the domestic good purchase program. Number one, unlike domestic purchase program where gold was bought based on live prices, which doesn't allow the buyer to plan and to know at any given time gold that is bought and the accurate cost price for the gold. The gold board has a new pricing mechanism. We use LBMA AM, LBMA PM, 2 pricing windows. That brings predictability and certainty. It allows us to know real-time gold that is bought for us and the accurate cost price so that you cannot increase the cost price. And the gold board is also allowed under the GANRAP to hedge. Bank of Ghana was not hedging gold. We engage in hedging. We engage in derivative trading on gold futures. You understand? So there are many things that we do. For example, in how Bank of Ghana sold gold. Bank of Ghana will get agents to buy gold for it, including PMMC Gold Board, within T+4. Once the gold got to Accra, it had to be exported. Whether or not the price had dropped or the exchange rate had appreciated, they will export because their focus for that program was bring the FX in because the nation was in crisis.
Lawyer Sami Jemfi and see a pen or sanso de two as say, we share more a gold board jumedi mu a wo mo de o mo jumedi an say e ban ska akọ ho nsam de a wo mo di jumedi kama na so wutie ensem bi afifi a kire ba se nyoma boboboka ene ka twitwiri die wo ma bobo si o dabi e ka twitwiri die bia sansem no e nkontompo na braba sem wote sansem na bogu esan say wo mo emo ka bia e wo mo se dwumako bia e ye dwuma edwu bebi wo mo ka de na so sa e ka twitwiri die akukuri de ba twom ko mu say gold board for ena abon sansem na e
Nobody's saying that there's not been a loss, but be factual about it. You can't say that Cocoa Board has incurred a loss and that loss should be blamed on TV3. And if TV3 issues a statement to say that we didn't make the loss, it is Cocoa Board loss, then you say it is semantics. That is not semantics. Because a lot of public institutions and public officers in this country have been denigrated, their reputation damaged on the altar of lies. And because they did not rebut those lies in good time. That is why we have decided not to wait for these repeated, tired, false narratives to become truth in the minds of the unsuspecting public, and we have to set the record straight. So it's very important that it's not semantics. And number two, you say that what are we doing? The solution is a gold board model. You see, Bank of Ghana is a central bank. They were not established to trade gold. It is not their core function. They don't have a good trading department like the Gold Board established by Mahama has. That is why the nation builder, in his vision, saw the need to entrust this gold purchase arrangement to a specialized agency with specialized powers, specialized functions, and resources, which would be called the Gold Board.
Na ne kwakwa mu na wo se wo hwe IMF fo nkrata bi o mode beto monten so na mu chemu se nya ka bi akoso e wo Bank of Ghana no 1.7 billion loss bi awo afimpini anya edunu enum emu na wo che se dom kuma ne ba ne denum nyamfo Alexander Fenema ke na kire mu se o sa aka ne kwa Gold Board for na mo boss aka no e na mo di aka kwhye mu se Bank of Ghana for e na wo bi o ka che ne se enya mpempin ya wo mra IMF fo nkrata na eda honom paragraph ABCD paragraph 2 clause 3 ehefa pa na hye eno ma che se Gold Board for ene boss aka no womra emeyi ano emfa ma no
Raw surplus or profits of 5.4 billion Ghana cedis. This is an incontrovertible fact. And today, to settle this matter once and for all, I brought to this auditorium a copy of the annual report and financial statements of the Gold Board, prepared and published by the Auditor General, not Sami Jemfi and the Gold Board. We don't audit ourselves. Now, if you check page 12 of this report, you will see that the Gold Board on its own, from its own operations, generated total revenue of close to 1 billion Ghana cedis and kept expenditure just around 109 million Ghana cedis. And so that is what we mean by operational profit or surplus of 907 million. It means that if you took all the revenue we generated as an organization and you deducted our expenditure from it, we had 907 million left. 102.7.
Lawyer Sami Jemfi or Sansu CEO at Ghana Gold Board. Nene Anukuti.
Free a lawyer Sami Jemfi any Gold Board who sends seminiantin sim awasem DBA. And Kani James Neni Emma MPP Amanyoko Krabata wasantimante mu a Bernard and Chibosiakon. Now what a D any chema wound to me a pray dear. Would any more in Sawoma a what and I say they watcher. I was some a binding year per 20 years. Now I know and a lawyer for a bra a buying and I said a judge of what's not semi so. No more share 20 years say and the name kwakotri emuno na lawyer for esa express obeko for appeal biem send ye beya ni bail condition no yasem de bia ni a judge for ebetena so and no matimi atena saka say ye teso anansa imponi ye ma no bail ibi na empanyimfo a eda eye court ehye se enada yi en na chairman wuntumi ene na lawyer for emepie mu ewasem de bia na eye empanyimfo ekoye a ne lawyer for wo mama Chema wuntumi so a we be ye hu no eno na Deputy Attorney General Justice website e de ensaba abonten say court atena asem no sa say October bosome no ne da etoso edu enum na say de ni bill application no wo mo betie enti prempre de enne asem de bia ekoye no anase court ko asetena no chema wuntumi ano na lawyer for ano womuni na ama enti asem ne asetu ahyeda ahye say October bosome ne da etoso edu enum eno mo nsam na ne bill application no empanyimfo ensa entie
Mothers FM, yes, some pa.
Yantu ansam no so enfa emma wodia na ye bore mu ewo yankasa ye die mu ensemtrefo se yeku ene ye Ghana Journalists Association ebebo aze no anya nya mfie ne eduoson enson 77 years hooray o se ye na kire se enyeje aba adiama ensemtrefo ama wobia eni age home na dwumadi chenchirenchen ekoso ewo British Council ewo enkampuni mantama se dia na empanifo twetwuru akukudam enintire yeto nsa edefre omo se womomre na na wɔn ne nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ mmɛbɔ mu na yɛma anigye mmra na ɛno ɛna dwumadie no ase no Director General Edma Ghana Broadcasting Corporation Professor Amin Al-Hassan wɔde nsɛm to dwa wɔkyɛ sɛ wohwɛ fa hodie paa sɛ fa hodie wɔ ɔman Ghana mu asɛ dia na kyerɛ sɛ bibibia ɛde di pefe sɛ ade bibibia akɔ enkan ɛde ama yɛn na wɔkyɛ ɛba ne sɛ fa hodie paa de yɛntumi ka sɛ de ma asrafo anasa bambofo ana manyofo sɛ wɔn ɛna toto nyɛma ama mprempren yɛnya fa hodie aba bɛsi mprempren yo na mmom no ɛba ne fa hodie sɛ fa hodie paa de dia aba so bɔ no yɛ bɛkɔ ɛde ama nsɛmtwerɛfo sɛ wɔn ada ama ɛno bia etumi ɛkɔtena TV so radio so etumi ɛka ne kasa bobi ɛhyɛ ne mu no ɛde to ɛmɔnten so a obi antumi ɛnhyɛ da ɛnyɛ ne hwee wɔ man Ghana ma sɛ sɛ ɛyɛ amanyɔsɛm ke ba mi ke bia mamu ɛna yɛ mu bi ntina aba so bɔ ntisiw no wɔde bɛkɔ ɛde ama nsɛmtwerɛfo sɛ wɔn abɔ mo homɔde ɛnda nkyɛn so a wɔkyɛ sɛ ɛwɔ abibimam hɔ nyinaa no Ghana yamanyɔsɛm ɛna afei so nsɛmtwerɛ dwuma no edi mu yie papaapa nti ɔbɔ nsɛmtwerɛfo aba so
established the first institutions to train journalists and others. We have also had a robust media that has helped to transform us from a colony to an independent state. So when we talk about a legacy of media in Ghana, we are talking about a legacy that has played its part in transforming this country more than any other institution. And I always tell my students that it wasn't the military or the police that gave us the independence, it was the journalists, it was journalism. And in journalism, the best one, those who knew how to do the work, also led the country in its political journey into a Republican country. We have a robust national Republican constitution that guarantees freedom and practice of the media, and practitioners are enjoying it. As I also often say that Ghana's media regulatory framework is a gold standard in Africa, and we should be proud of it. So that when we are celebrating media 77 years, we are here to take note of all of that. But what is ahead is actually the challenge, shaping the future of digital media within the context of ethical journalism.
Professor Amin Al-Hassan nene ene kokotie enwachi ena titneni edema National Media Commission Professor Ekwia Poku Abrichum wono so ede ensem to dwa na wo kire se wo mo sensem trefo wo mo bom homodin papa wo man Ghana ma se na so prempren no obesere mpanimfo se ba no abefo ntintan fide nso nsem tre dwuma no dia wo mo nhwe ma omani enko ho yie papa na emre bia wo se yetumi agiri mu mane pampe wo honom so yetumi ama no akọ sa isan se hons na sentem no ne ekoso wo honom se mpanimfo anhwa amfo mo na ensi fam dia anhwa na se hons so age ensemo.
In wishing you a happy birthday, I would like that, and I know there are several speeches and presentations after me, but I would like to stress the fact that, and this is derived from the African Commission on Human and People's Rights resolutions 630 and 631, that we need to shift the whole issue of digital media ethical adherence from individual journalists to governance of platforms that disseminate digital content. And it is important that ethical journalism in the age of digital media, it's clearly a collective responsibility, resting first on digital platforms and the regulatory capacity to ensure that digital platforms assume responsibility for ethical adherence. In conclusion, I urge you to expand your notion of upholding ethical journalism beyond individual virtues and adherence to norms and standards, and to develop the tools to engage the very system that shapes journalist ethics.
Professor Ekwia Pokwa Brichum nene ene kokoti enwachi na UNESCO anamusini wo man Ghana wa say ayora Edmund Mukala wono so ede ensem to Ghana wa chemu say wo bebo Ghana ensem trefo adwumeko na abaso yi papa say wo metumi atoto nyoma ama bibi atumi akọ ankan esan say wo hwa nyoma atumi etu esisi wo man Ghana ma say ensem trefo edimu akotini pa ene atumi akọ ankan nti obo Ghana ensem trefo abaso.
The founding fathers of the Ghana's press understood a fundamental truth that remains valid today. A free and independent press is not a luxury afforded by democracy. It is the very necessity upon which nation building is predicated. Today, Ghana is celebrated as one of Africa's most stable democracies. The fingerprints of the media are visible on nearly every democratic milestone we have achieved. From monitoring elections and providing credibility to results, the mirror up to citizens to be heard by those in power and ensuring that accountability is not just a concept, but a lived reality. However, as we celebrate this rich legacy, we must also embrace an honest introspection. The credibility that Ghanaian journalists has built over seven decades is not a permanent inheritance.
Na ne krakra mu no na GJA ye panyi awodi yanim ora Albert Kwabena Dwumfo wono so ensem atu dwana nya bra wode empanyi foforo AC akonya so eno committee members fra wode omutu AC akonya so na jese modwuma so wode ahye omonsam medi ede aboa eko no na wo kire se wo mugidie pa ye se adwuma wode ma omo no wo metumi aye ama enkanko empeja enimpuntu aba ewo eko nim amobi National
Executive is confident that the wealth of experience, professionalism, and diverse expertise of the committee members will strengthen the work of the association, promote high professional standards, deepen member engagement, and support the implementation of strategic programs for the benefit of journalists nationwide. And the GJA expresses a profound appreciation to all members who have accepted the call to serve on the various committees. Their willingness to dedicate their time, knowledge, and experience to the association is a demonstration of their commitment to the advancement of journalism and the welfare of media practitioners in Ghana. The National Executive looks forward to working closely with the committees in delivering on the association's mandate of promoting professionalism, safeguarding press freedom, enhancing the welfare of journalists, and strengthening the GJA as the foremost professional body for journalists in Ghana.
Ora Albert Kwabena Dwumfo nene ene kokotie
Yanko ensem fufuro mu na wo yakasie me ma wonya na ntia se wo de kire wa santimantem sukuntu aso ba ko ho KNUST dia kwakwa se bebi asukufo eda no hostel no ebo mutua no wo soropa eno ma acting rent commissioner na pamfo etutu wo mo nan ho no mo kwa no kohwe bie miantwe mantwe bi pa asukufo nkoda na da a ebi tua 10,000 Ghana ebi su tua 20 Bwenima na ehia pa se empanyimfo ebemu eno na acting rent commissioner onmonyanfo Frederick Opoku ede ensemba abontin a wobde so body na ema empanyimfo a anase wo mo a wo masisi hostels ahodo na schoolfo yi so edi sika kwakọ rent bi no wotrenti ensen na ehwe mo so na ene ensem trofo efre papa yi ene etoto na no ene ebusa ne se na esi wasante mantemu no emu ntremu ene sei if they see ye na so one more wo hostels ahodo no mo nkabom ko panyi ebe kasaye kire se sa enema na course wa santimantem enya ade abobo edwo so na nka bibia ni kura na ese ko no mo tenase ana hu bia na eya ade a ehye sa eye rent control for ensa na wono oda no se acting rent commissioner no eya ade odi mo tentima pa eye enti ana mo nto mo tu ye e wa santimantem sukuntu aso no eya ade a enam ne kwan so pa eye ononyamfo Frederick ensem na ni trem no ekire say wo stress sika school fo bi ejeje na say school nkoda etuatua na ne boarding pa eye obi tua 10,000 na mantwe bi na bekọ no obia hode a na entwa yie aso wan wo say kwanti nkofo de no ebi wo ha o metimi aye akomanim ukọhwe beebi ankoda ne da pa efe kra keke eno pese obi a esua bibi efrim.
Make a callback of the press statement or press conference that the association at K University campus made, and the allegations which are not founded in law. So I want to bring the attention to the fact that they are a bit ignorant about certain things of the law, and I expect them to go straight to the law. And that I will start by saying that they should go and read about the Rent Act, Act 220, Section 1, Section 1 of the Act. Subsection 1, the first provision that must be considered is the Section 1.1 of the Rent Act. And what does it say? It provides it in substance that subject to the specified exceptions, there are exceptions where we don't have jurisdiction. And that I will let you know, or let the association understand today, that rent control has jurisdictions on all premises in Ghana. And that is stated clearly by the Act of Parliament. And that tells you the mandate of rent control, which hotel operators are not exempted. In the first place, the only place that we don't have jurisdiction over is government-owned property. Government property, which government is a landlord. Apart from that, every premises in this country are being regulated, and they must be regulated by this.
For Frederick Opokunini in the Kotie, Nano see Yape, and a Hostel Owners Association, James Neni, Bishop Owusu Esodi and Sem Etuja, Etrese, Bemena. And Kawe Nukra Brano Kaipa say, one more for there. Sen Cabranian Nasi, and no Frederick say, just a more family shame the Sika. Maybe Sunyam and Kwan, maybe my poundful. If we are baby, I better Adriani, a bedine, quackers, conditions in a dorso. Now, a Korea see a normal musu who any Santimantemo, so cool point or send ye nema cosuno enye. One also chess and no sunya dia, mobile edges one among 2 penny, a 2 year home.
Against being ashamed, we are talking about procedure of doing things. In fact, when this man started, I personally invited him to Kumasi for us to sit down and deliberate on how we are going to do this. The first statement was that I'm a very experienced public servant, and I cannot come unless you bear my cost. I have to pay the plane cost together with his team, a whole lot of things. When I was trying to explain things to him, he had the phone. He cut the phone on me. So he has made the opportunity to sit down with stakeholders and think about how he can go about his work. So his attitude that is preventing him from getting through. Number 2, he talked about licensing and rent. All I know is that the rent control was set up to control and mediate on private for, at that time, single rooms and hall and chamber accommodation. Purposely built institutions were taken away from his remit. He should know that. Because if now he wants to come to the hotels and the hostels and other things,
and near Bishop Owusu B or no and a hostel a was Santiman Temina or Monkabum Kono, your Omujem Neni, one also Tremu and what the Betu Jano.
I was here for near Bedna Switch. I would see our Ajabwa for Ankratwa Abanas, so yeah, corner Dena Migusua Kai was say Mother's TV. Yagusua don't see a car was say, and ya would do TV no, would you call an scan a family and such as say, now ye demutafa at the amma when I come, send ye wire face a man pohena bomu come de say, so na hana, naturally, Bibia at the year, a shea, pass who now share the camera, dear, say Mother's TV so, and I'll be wobenya ene nti abusuafo yi o risk na dia na kire say wo dish no na wa position no 26 degrees east na wo de atwo kama na say 27 degrees east na bibibia dem kama na afi wa ba decoder na so frequency number no 12303 12303 and your frequency number now about Edia Shimu. Symbol rate no 27500 27500. Polarization no a horizontal, a vertical and horizontal. Men 5 vertical no a horizontal. Now about Edia Shimu. A Arabsat BADR8. Arabsat BADR8 now abo ede ashemu kama bo say Mothers TV na ye demutafa na kire se manon so aye den na ekua so da so shepe akona kono so we say na de na abena foko ye bo won so aye nome eda TV no so na wo hwe kama na kire se ejaminta ene dausa won so aye succulent e wo so ede emma Mothers TV, the mother of all media na wo hwe so ena ope the papa ashe esi ho afa ho kama apunto adoring wedding birthday party and a woko engagement na wo ye bibia wo ye bie hia se be fa ho esi ho dia kelele clothings womo adama and I make for edi ama wo ene anwume say koi no mu esi kama senya se na efata womo chi akwan e wo North Kaneshi Dimod bus stop on ma Indian lanes make Kaftan no India for lanes ya womo sari no so womo e will be a mema kaftan womo e will be wooden print womo will be African print womo will be bibia and I think so who knew be we just stand so dia ma de agbada na odwudwa e dia ma bubu e ma na de no we de pempama show kama kaba and slit nyina no womo be e de ama digital embroidery creations nyina no womo be bi e de ama political suits nyina no kelele clothing e be ne kama suku ama ho IFA. Frewamo, I was 0541 849 257 and that's 0268 866 697. Elevate your style with us today and no a Kaleli clothings.
Mamen so enfa enkaibo we so entwa so dia ora Patrick Ejeyi ewo emfie edwenai enson saso ena ora Maxwell Boaten wo moni na etutu wo manambo eko aposifu akache wo mona tese ne se wo moni abe ma eye ora Samuel awusi awanya emfie edwanai o Christ wo kɔ adwuma bepemu nei omba efie wo mo eti ofanko barrier won krapumpuni mantem ha sei na ora Samuel pie no na tadia ehye no wo shirt ene trouser black saso ena wo hye na ne tenten no 5.7 ene tenten wo ye nipa tuntum na wa krase wo kwa adwuma bepemu nei ebusuafo kire se won saso ensa na chi emma fie ento mokoto sre pass wa behu owra bia ne fie no aduanan 40 years a ne tuntum no ese daso tuntum a no apusu ahoma no omafre obetimi afre wo mo 0256 457 213 0256 457 213 ebusuafo se omosre wawada ma se wo hu owra Samuel awusia no apusu ahomanya saso a ekwa ofanko aposifu akache na fa efa ne course ne fa ne course ne be ya aposifu betimi afre omoso ye be mo kase ne so ni age aboafo nkrato ye ba kase na akai na ye de ba besomo
it was 0541 849 257. Aha, Kelele clothing. Me mama kwaba. Yeni etimi ma wa ho fedanso. Ewa wontade shemu. Esan say, yewa fabrics are so to nyine bi wa ha. African print. Kelele clothing die. Yesan so pam the show. Come on. Ye pam e mane mema kaftan. Corset, agbada, e mane mema die nyina. Embroidery, bubu, silk kaftan, political suits nina. Ye pem biwa ha. Ye tira kwan ewa North Kaneshi Dimod bus stop. Ana wo dear friend. Ewa 0541 849 257 ana 0268 866 697. Aha.
Adishmaima. KASE Estate Ghana Limited. Ye Jumakubia. Ye si dine ton dine. Eton sase krujia. Mansubia ni hon. Wuto yen sasibia. Ebaya wudia forever and ever. Wabusian dachinti. Enunti. KASE Estate say. Tia 10% pay. Na fe shasye. Usi dino. Na uchane kakra. KASE Estate in kwane won sasi wa the whole Ghana. Ye won sasi bi wa Greater Accra. Baby to say. Atoman. Kofi Donko. Imam Pehia. Danjra. Kaswa Obom. Dodowa. Kofi Kwe. Ayite Kote. Weja. Broadcasted. Ani Bebre. Sayakwa Central Region in Sua. Cape Coast. Ayensudo. J. Krodia. Portin. Gomwa Kwe Krum. Yankwa Eastern Region. Ensawam. Kwasinyako. Afram Krum. Afayentufa. Na Yanko Northern Region. You will be Watamale. Nyampala. Ensasano Bay. UDS Campus. Watamale Kumase Kwanso. Yesansu wa Executive Wanzo. The other Kromu Pe. Na Wusansu Pe. Asasi Yantam. Edia Yekria and Efua. You will be with the whole Ghana. And on Tishu Yechiakwai. With the main office. Accra. Tesano. Yani Ghana Telecom University. And our police training school. And a Dijanimu. Waka Aswa Malam Quantum Ponoso. A month from. Yani Resurrection Aswa in a Dijanimu. Na Yakwa Amasama Iswa. Opposite the Central Marks. Wa Amasama Iwa. Obakro wa office no. I was site Wape. Afe Ashaiman. Yani Lorry Station no. And a Dijanimu. Freye 0302 963740. Ebiem 0302 963740. KASE Estate Ghana Limited. Yenti Usubet Miesidai.
I try and try who about Gusweti Kasia Baatan or Mother's FM no so. Woo Shadia a Mother's TV no so any demutafa. Abefonten time video on Facebook. Mother's 102.7 FM Accra. YouTube no so a Mother's TV Ghana a Kasia Baatan and a yede esomo. Yet one son no so den de ni chiremu our Doma Central. Na a municipal director at my social welfare and community development. A mama Rachel Ofosua Dankwa Adin Sembi ati dwa na nse wada so dwa na se eya na ye nwan ma sabi wo mu edidam no aban na eso ma sene kakra titiru e wo sika afemu e na afensu so wadi mfidi ahodo bi etumi ema wo mu sene be ya wo metumi ede aye enwuma na wo so sika aba wo mu eho no na wo chemu se eya na sa sika no dodo na obesu enya me de hye bi eyare na wo de akakohwe na ewa yare sabia na me de kotua school fees na me de koyese bo wana sa sika ni na ahye na so ama emfa so na wo kire se saa de ni na no you ewo mu se bia na we na emergency bi na mum wo de ka koye eya na bi mu so de enkontompo na brabase nuko bia ennimu enti se mo pese aban etumi agimu pa dia se adewe wo de koye ayaresa bia ho enwuma dia wo kwana wo ba fa receipt nkrata edimu a kire se you sika aban de ma wo no we na de koye ba ne sana eno chese aban esan so ma obi fifro na obefi na ko mu fa de ama wo de sa ensemi to dwa na ya bra wo discabot ni bi ene deep freezers ahodo we pounding machine fufu pounding machine ahodo na afensu so nyama akade ba ko menu bi de ema yenu ma sebe wo medi dem wo mo atena ye ho
sese mo ya madwumedi ya ayeye den menu ye behia ha ye teche ma no ye ka kire mo se won saka check se wo de ko hwe ho yade wo de ko school ana wo de ko didwa wo to wo nyama na tumi kana fa receipt bra office enso abesi sa bre ya ye call sa ya munuanum bi se omo fa receipt ne ma enti aban enchi ye enkogu mesra mo eyesa na madwumedi no aye ya me pa cho se wo wa ha na wo beje mwa edi ahwe school edi ahwe apomodene edi edidwa mesraw oto wonyama na receipt no sada na e ma de nche to be kana fa brain na ye fan retire said de be ya enkoye sesika no ebia me amegina ha ni madwuma yefo na yedi
Mama Rachel Ofosua Dankwa nene eni hokotie ye no eno echi no nimanyafo Adama Yeboa presiding member wo Doma Central Municipal Assembly ni emu wojina MC nimanyafo Dominic Aduma Ameyaw anemu ensem bi tudwa na wo trese djumedi ekoso na ye de ne toso mienu eno mode ahyehye so wo afi mu de ama yenwan ma wo medi dem na wo trese wojumedi omo dini na no wo sere wo mo se machine ahodo sika ye de ma mo nyina no wo mo hwe emfanya djuma na daneda sika emra mbotom na eso emra emfa so
Akɔhoma sika no ba no ɔnkyɛ bia na yɛ baako afie we ka ho mpire no bi kura no sa hoɔde no hɔ ne nyame boae a yɛbɛyɛ de ɔtɔ so miɛnsa ansana afe no akɔ awieyɛ yɛkyerɛ sɛ yɛnyina yɛwura yɛma mpanyini no John Dramani Mahama ɔyɛ ho adwempa yɛma nti sɛ ɔno anya ho adwempa na ɔde asiri mpanyinfoɔ so ne bia ba bɛka wo nsa yɛbɛsrɛ yɛde bibi ne ma wa dwumadi a ɛsɛ sɛ wodidi ɛma wo nsa kɔwa no anaasɛ wo ho henha no saa dwumadi no ɛsɛ sɛ woyerɛ ho no do yɛ sɛ woagye fridge so ɔde bɛtɔ no nsuo a yɛbɛsrɛ tɔ no nsuo no mamfa so mmra so na kyena bi mpanyinfoɔ no ba bɛhwɛ wo na wo nsutɔn no ɔkɔ so na woabrabɔ do ɔtu mpana ne ama bi ne ɛde aka ho woagye ovi so ɔde bɛyɛ aduane a gyɛ ne sɛde ɛteɛ sɛ woagye afidie so ɔde bɛwɔ fufu a mɛsrɛ mamfa kɔsi mfakyire ɛma ntontom ne wansena ɛtu ngu so fa yɛ adwuma na mpanimfoɔ no ba bɛhwɛ ne sɛ odi mu a bɛde bi aka ho woagye check so ɔkɔ akɔdi dwa a wokɔtɔ a fa receipt ne bra ma adwadeɛ ne nkɔ so sɛ kyena wobɛnya sika no bi de aka ho
Onimanyamfo Adama Yaboa nene ene kokotie na ne kwakwa mu no na wo mo soso a eye akyade yi wo mo enya ebi mu no wo mo soso e da stapiesie e koma aban na eda empanimfo ase
Nyame ayɛ no kwasende ɛyɛ bitam egira me ma no mumfo mi kwasende amane de ma fam no abane atima boys ame nya sem bia kase nyankopɔn esira no ɔne ne mpanyimfo na fa assembly man na ampini executive abɛhwɛ de wa mansi ne so no ye bae na asom ne bo na adese be de beto bani se be mo amra na mitimi tuto ne ma hwɛ pra no kwasende bani mama ba ma me check ya me de kotonko nda ma ha ne se de be ya ayi fo so be fa me kakra de atubudi amankwa no badi je be kan se nyame hira be na mpanyimfo na bibi kana bibi mani no nyame hira wo mo ma si fo so mo ti no so no nyame hira mo me ku so no na yire mo ho adigu duma se me ko no me keso ama mfaso aba mane no so ama enyina bia kan enyina ti da mo se nyame hira
mpanyimfo me jomama yeda omo nyina so mo adome mba ifrit nyame nka do ho na mbare su don kwaso entitani mu mam ya ni shi obiya na sabi nga ya no mabenya ha okakawo ofiri ntisia oba menana so ya kwanya na bae no ye so yenya freezer ti ya da balance se adoma bo aye se mfa yansa nye bibi yenya so faso
yes ambo Mothers FM
Wamo nyamfa so die no efi assembly ni hono wamo so asidansam enyi
What do I need HMO or T-Man Temwa MPP Ninkrabata or home penny for a sorry wakapa a ye. Once my working Nancy abandoned an pencil, a na down qua a kufuado, the Jumedia would do peja ye, a see a year or T-Man Temuno. A quack say a buying NDC, a buying better Nakunya Cassia, who may just search me na a JJ mo. And no, and Nama or T-Man Tem dreamt Nenny, Emma MPP, Amano Kuono, Akasa Etrese. Say no near buying sabe say sika ase CC ye edan ahodo nyina ekwa say wo boa man Ghana emampuntu akoso abranka say sika kro no obetimi dia share dia banda da penso o si ye se na ebe obetimi ahwie na nsem na enie.
We are all aware of the acute accommodation situation in the region since the creation of the OT region. Thank God the MPP government put out some projects to ameliorate the situation. These projects are 98% completed. The regional commander's residence is only left with an electricity connection to be habitable. Unfortunately, it is still not in the use after 1.5 years of the NDC coming into office. Because of the OT regional minister is very comfortable in the facility constructed by the MPP for the Karachi East Municipal Assembly, he appears to be unconcerned about the completion of the OT Regional Coordinating Council, ORCC office. The assembly is in distress but cannot speak. We therefore call on the OT Regional Minister and the President of the Republic, who promised during his campaign that all abandoned projects will be completed, to, as a matter of urgency, provide electricity and complete these facilities for use. After all, it is the taxpayers' money left to go waste.
and a first vice chairman Emma MPP Manyoku no ewo timantemu Oronyanfo Stephen Ali Waba eso di ensem etuja na so work nane say so wo share na dankwa Ekufuado penso padia project bebre en wo ye imponemu offices ahodo bebre ekowiase asa bebetna kunya kese so no sajwen na omeja na jeje ntombego so abon dewuro kopem se Ghana mampani any NDC aban eba be wie sajumedi ni nyina.
The various places na projects that started this one agenda 111 hospitals in here. I can remember regional coordinating council a project on we academy youth employment office academy everything in academy market almost on BB anywhere so in the air force be party in the new administration just said they don't even want to get closer to any of our projects and yes that's here, which I think is very unfair because your mind seeker area you man seeker you need seeker area you must a party your mind seeker this urban seeker should be ase na say my crime my side jumadina ntimi antroaso man public na nyon faso na say e hadwen kakra nti ese bi papa koso
ne krakra no Ora Said Musa communication director Emma MPP Otimantemo no so den same say in account
for the past 1.5 years abandoned project origin high His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo and MPP for ehya no sa project no yemfa block mpo emeka ho baako any regional administration aye ORCC aye ka ho asemu yi dodo na na ewo region no mu ukoja asikan a regional education office esi ho omo baaye bepemu ne block baako pa afra no block ro mo mfa nka ho ye woko Krachia regional highways enso ewo ho woko Nkwanta regional agric ewo ho all these projects are NDC for baaye a omo abandon na omo nya ho hwe since the inception of the NDC government from January 2025 OT has seen zero development omo policies na omo de to omo manifesto mo say omo Ghana for enu nti a Ghana for ejina so ekoto abama omo no so ni nyina aye waste
Mothers FM 102.7
Ora Said Musa won Otimantemu MPP ne krabata ho ye communication director
Yamore and I'm an Okasadia Food and Drugs Authority. One more at the Emra Banatet or Mujimu Pampe, Titru, Ewa Dredia, a Cosso, a Wabafuntin, Fidian Esso, and you'll be ton Keleweli, Ewa so, will be ton Gizzard was so, will be ton a Drew or so, in and do one FDH, one in two muye. This advertisement is vetted and approved by the SDA. Now, the SDA for me. As I say, no. Advert be a chogu, a wabafuntin, FD for into nano. One more say, one more basso, now one share at a tonyoma, kama, Ede ama one more sinner be a war tone a enter, dear, war tone in Euro, war tone in Yane, a wabe for Quanso on a dear, yet the Emra eba, ababeshe, send a bear, will be beer and a Diana no, and a Diana pa war tone was so, a dribia war tone, any in your pa, no war tone was so, a dear be a Pejanimu, Nasa so a quine personal, FD for Eddie never be a baby guaquima, send a bay a safunano, woman to me, I share at Tunyama Eddie Amomo, now be to me, I did prefer, or I gay hat mensa, where Deputy CEO Edma FDA, one of the San Semi at Tuja.
Take today, a lot more advertisements go virtual, they go online, they go digital, and that space is at the moment not part of the advertisement schedule or advertisement regulation of the Food and Drugs Authority. But we have the mandate to regulate that space as well. And so we have started the process of developing guidelines for regulating advertisement of food and drug products that are made online. In order to ensure that we have our hands around such adverts, we have an elaborate monitoring system.
Ora Gehat Mensa, Nene and Hukoti, and Wachina, Director of Legal and Corporate Affairs, our FDA, Era Perpetual Youngson, one so just say, one more at the new may air banasha saying special who do not do another baby, air walk abe for Kwan Aso, into Mikokobo, and the air core Edama say, men no audience so between Choma Nemu, our honum, a sunset, between Choma Nemu dear, Emra Quanso, and Omodo Ebefa.
Action. When we come to your facility and you obstruct us, we'll charge you 60,000. You don't allow us to enter because the perception is that if you are how do you call it? If you don't have anything to hide, why are you blocking us? Because we are supposed to do continuous surveillance. We can't just register you and leave you at that. And then you are supposed to sell food that is wholesome. If you sell food that is unwholesome, that is stupid, that is rotten, they are all offenses that you can be charged under. As if it's rotten and you sell it and you are caught, you can be sanctioned.
Mothers FM, yes, some pa.
Director of Legal and Corporate Affairs, our FDA, Perpetual Youngson, Nene and Guti.
Sawadweni mo Ghana Meteorological Agency for Akachia, Womodi and Smababonti say Ghana Civil Aviation Authority for Eka Womodi Womono 50 million Ghana cedis and a show motoswo our Muntriaye and no Amomuj Media Womudi a debo my Ghana church and a Nasipa a ye yet so Mudi Yamunsaka and Yaka so better no suato you also a severe munye sa and no many beer and no more and near my care home. And on penyumfo edi abase sa ekay ade a esopa eye bepomu ne empenyumfo a wo moda sa atan no entimi entua ye ne sa ensemi Dr. Eric Esuman one edin chemu say ebai.
This issue of Ghana Meteorological Agency and Ghana Civil Aviation started way back somewhere in 2008 where Ghana Meteorological Agency signed memorandum of understanding with Ghana Civil Aviation to pay 10% landing fees to Ghana Meteorological Agency for the services that we provide for air navigation here in Ghana. If a plane will land, a plane will take off, or a plane will fly over our fly zone, information that the pilots need include information, meteorological, weather, and climate information. And so Civil Aviation has been disrespecting this MOU over the years. So somewhere 2018, government took a decision to make it a law, amend Ghana Meteorological Agency Act to make it a law for a certain receivables from Ghana Civil Aviation and Ghana Airport Company to be given to Ghana Meteorological Agency. And this act stipulated that all landing charges that Civil Aviation receive, 10% should be ceded to Ghana Meteorological Agency. All flights in the Accra or Ghana fly zone that doesn't even land in Ghana, 10% of the money that they charge them should be given to Ghana Meteorological Agency. And then passenger service charge 5%, which is collected by Ghana Airport Company, should be given to Ghana Meteorological Agency. This is way back 2019.
Doctor Ensem no answer was sad to be a can who watch you say, and nam a car a yat na way at the warm muntino. A mom cry ain't me no what you must say we must sample it one bet me aka say baby a more quay a babuana say and one I say a reamu ye and I say a reamu if he says he can way a yadi and combat me at dear taught or near maybe cry at the abo matna yes bepumune 50 million Ghana CDC. Eshenkrofo ho aye no wo ye adwuma wo airport to aviation authority wo mo ene de sa ekai.
Our equipment are very capital intensive that we use, and can you imagine what 58 million or 59 million Ghana cedis would have given the agency in terms of automatic weather stations that we need, automatic rainfall stations that we need, a radar that we need to be able to have a better view of the atmosphere, to be able to predict warnings with volumes of rains that are supposed to come for disaster rates reduction and safety of life and property. All this is denying the agency. In fact, if you look at the cabinet memo that followed the amendment of GMET Act, it made it clear the objective was to provide sustainable source of revenue for the agency to be able to deliver on his mandates. And the states, which is the government and the parliament, representatives of the people, saw that they took the decision that for GMA to have a sustainable source of revenue to be able to operate on its mandate, the service they provide to civil aviation, which is commercialized.
Mothers FM, yes, some pa.
Any akwakotie Dr. Eric Esuman no so entremu enodibaye.
I was saying, some no and far and mouth, dear, and you show me our mind gun must say I'm a memorandum dear now. Yan must sabi one more edit them no a banner say ma in human as a buying. Fed my 4 won't so a woman at a fan. Say a ban LBB, ever call Eddie Ama Womo. Now I'm print the Coalition of Unemployed Graduates with Disability and a woman bar Kokobo Chunku, Jubilee House. Now I'm quite dear, Mako 79 and 7 penny, wish I bought Titi. Who may see a film so fire. A dream man at say, a dream in Nature Concan, Eddie Amaye, and see Mahama A. Would the yaka. It was ya cat. And into bra, but fire Juma, Mahama, where the cow, Juma fem, and into bra. Now, my Juma, one more quiet, dear Mako 79, say, one more buyer, one more hour in my 4 bako, a hen 200, one more because first class degree, second class. I need na one more be a big crab of Bob Masters, one more essay effort, I say, so you chim a form of Juma, yen 7 to Jawa bra, Uncle PM, our Jubilee House.
Way back last year, we started approaching the government and some ministries for employment, and it has been promises ups and downs. Somewhere in March, our colleagues demonstrated thinking that that could yield something, but as we speak now, none of us were considered.
I tell you, some of us here are very brilliant. If you ask most of us here to bring out our sets, you're going to be shocked with first class, second class, and all that. So our disability shouldn't be an impediment that we can't work. We are capable of working just as our colleagues who have sight, legs, and hands. And so it is our demand that at least we've been quiet for too long. Government should take us.
My brother said the only one demand is government should give order so that the education minister, as they have been saying, they will give us employment. But now what we heard is they have already exceeded what the number of people they want. Meanwhile, they told us they will give us employment. So today we are going to pick it at Jubilee House so that as they promise us, they will give us that promise.
Mothers FM, yes, some pa.
Be a sabi one did them now so and non says a moon dear woman at the pa or married dare who machine and commotion him say or my degree who the first degree, second degree, Nina no my bobo be. And I said I was that be 6 degree nim 6 degree nim patch me obi abo degrees ah obe ne watch 6 degree nim there be o 6 degree no me say we diploma. They were degree, they were masters. They make and say, Obu a degree no baba akumienu miensa and I oboko onye masters. Ogusu eboko. Into do tenna net 11 degree. 11 degree. Obo degree ni sa no oboko. Enti wa mo so ye mo pe adwuma ntaban e ma wo mo adwuma ebusuafo e bejina mo nsem no so e de ye nsem ni na asi e de amawo aha Mothers TV no eso utie say Mothers FM kase Baatan semufo e apna foku ye bo a wo so nsem so krogin e de ma ye anwumre ye producer e tena opiempia enini egum e my Mr Red e na afin so owura kotoka e bo achi dom sa so e na oba no ho fe o adwempa ai Abigail wono so eta chiri wo wan kona mekuduka enna pamfo enso so ebomu e wo PC a honam e de atum e wa be fontentan fidie no so e ma Jake mo Mr Howard mo e Mr Somuamo wo nyina e de atum e wo TV no eso